Dave from the Redneck Garage. Well, if you watched my videos before, you saw that I started putting on an air conditioning system on a Jeep that never had it. They make aftermarket kits called from Jeep Air, but I did this one all myself by just ordering the individual parts and put it all in. Now, the in-dash components was definitely more of a challenge for getting all the vacuum lines and the blend air door, but today we're going to be working on finishing it up, putting the hoses and all components needed under the hood, vacuuming it out and charging it up, and hopefully at the end of the day we're going to have some cold air. So let's get started. This is all the rest of the crap for the AC that we need. Got a relay and some high pressure switches, the hoses and the receiver dryer. Got the condenser in, and basically you've got these two lines here, those two lines. Got to modify the power lead to the compressor. Got to figure out which line goes to it as far as the power goes, but we should be in good shape. Alright, here's our receiver dryer, and you can see the O-rings and then the quick connect. I'm going to go ahead and lube. It's got some oil on it, but I'm going to make sure that it's good and oiled up on those O-rings before it gets installed here. Just some refrigerant oil. That's it, it's on. Now I got to put my bracket on here. You slide it up from the bottom. That's a pretty important part because it keeps your getting tension on any of that. So I'll tighten down the bracket. We'll go from there. Okay, so the receiver dryer's on. You can see that the bracket's on it here, which is good. It's good and sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Won't wiggle any lines off. Alright, there's my new vacuum lines. I gotta look at a diagram and make sure that I don't hook them up wrong, because I really don't want to unhook them and hook them back up again. These are pretty cool. They come with extra O-rings and quick connects, but everything on it has a new one, so I shouldn't have to use those. I can just keep them as spares. Awesome. We got to hook up here, here, and those two connections. So I just want to make sure we get them hooked up correctly. Alright, I got all the lines hooked up except for this one here. And I'm probably going to use it to go ahead and pour some oil in it, and looking good. Alright, so we got these front two hooked up, got it hooked up on the compressor. I've added 3 ounces of oil roughly, and you got one sensor here, high pressure and low pressure switches here and here. So I got to find, here's one of them, that one goes there I believe. Got to find the connectors for those, and we should be in good shape. Alright, the next step, once you get all your lines connected and everything else, we're going to go ahead and pull a vacuum for probably about 45 minutes to an hour, and that'll get all the moisture out, any kind of contaminants that are in the lines from it sitting. And here's the vacuum pump right here, a little Robin Air, and my gauges, and when we turn it on you'll see that it pulls a negative vacuum on there. So let me get it turned on and I'll show you the gauge set. Had one line up here that's being problematic. I think I may have got it fixed. We're down at -30 vacuum, which is where you want to be right here, and when you turn it off there should be no leakage. It shouldn't go back up, and it's staying where it's supposed to be. So as you look at this, you can see like a little bit of smoke coming out. That's moisture and impurities that it's pulling out of the vacuum lines and the condenser evaporator. So you let this run for about 30, well really about an hour on this system. I'll probably let it run, unhook it, and then we can charge it up and see if it works. Last thing we got to do before we charge it up, we got to put in a 20 amp fuse here, which is your AC clutch. And we have a relay that goes here for the compressor. So you got that fuse and that relay, and that should do that. Now I got to figure out the correct compressor wire, and then we'll just jumper that for now. Okay, the connector I'm looking for is this one, and it should have 2 wires, a ground, and a dark blue black. And that's going to be the compressor. Okay, I've had it on there for about almost maybe an hour. So everything that's in it should be out of it. Now I'll go ahead and get my refrigerant, and we will charge this baby up. My sketchy Harbor Freight gauge set. You want to make sure that you've got your system closed off before you unhook your line. Okay, I've got my refrigerant hooked up. Line over there, my jumper wire for the compressor. We can go ahead and crank it up and add some Freon to it. Okay, so at idle we're down below 40, about 38. I'm not going to add any more right now because it's open. I don't have the cabin closed, but man, it's blowing out some cold air. That feels great. Super cool. The compressor's operating off of the correct switch, so I just need to tie those wires together with the connector. Looks good. Working like a champ. And it should shut off when I turn off the AC. Seems to be working like it's supposed to. Awesome. Okay, so that concludes our AC installation. It's got air conditioning now where it never had it before. It wasn't that hard. The under the dash part, putting in the blend air door, was harder than doing the engine compartment. Now I've got one wire to connect. With the relay and the switch, everything's working on the controller like it's supposed to, so I'm just super happy with that. One more thing is finished. I got to connect up the steering, I got to put brakes on it, we got to do the clutch. Other than that, we don't have that much to do. Might need some seats also. Anyway, that concludes the air conditioning series. I'll try to get a list up of the parts that I purchased for this. Depending on the year, you're going to have a few different parts and pieces. But for the most part, that's basically how it goes on. I'm David from the Redneck Garage, and I am chilly. Keep turning wrenches.